Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. The ways of the world, as we know, is to accumulate experiences, to be more interesting as a personality, and each one has a focus to accumulate more in the senses or to accumulate more in the emotions or to think and to read the discoveries of others and eventually to discover oneself, some subject, to dig. Accumulation, you see. And that makes a personality more or less rich, more or less admired in the world. Here in Satsang, it's just the opposite. It is by non-accumulating that the so-called person one thinks he is will lose the power of that concept, I'm real. So it is the opposite direction. It's to undo, to remove concepts, to finally, eventually arrive to a very uninteresting, sober I, but very interesting in the eyes of those who love Satsang. And at that moment, if liberation is the motor of all that journey, I itself will put itself in such a condition that it disappears as reality. And even though it may still appear, but it will be removed from the concept of reality then. So this is again to give emphasis to the direction of Satsang. So finally, realization of the self, which is the goal of this. To come to Satsang is to realize the self. Doesn't happen to someone, it is just realized by what is there ever, has always been there, which doesn't belong to anybody. And that is described as non-dual. It's a non-dual nature. It is a substratum of everything, and it's called substratum when things can appear and disappear. It is on it or included in it. And the person who will appear will probably remain more or less the same, except that everything which was linked to the search, the anxiety of that search, disappears. So the search itself disappears, the profound unsatisfaction or missing something disappears, but all the rest regarding the world will probably more or less stay the same, appear the same. if you have any question, because you see, it's very important to hear all this. Maybe it touches a concept you have, or maybe you want to hear more. This is an occasion, so don't hesitate. It's your birthright to finish off the bag you carry. It's a bag of probably concepts and beliefs and whatnot, something you carry. And that gives a feeling of, I'm not realized, I'm not happy enough, nor peaceful enough. There is one consequence, I may say, in the life of a person which reappears, even though now it is seen as an appearance, is that the mind is not used all the time. Willingly, through attraction, just not to be always busy. Why to be busy all the time with what is unreal? I guess the questions or the interest doesn't resist the melting of the brain today, but it is circumstantial.
Ganga,
Yeah.
one of the things that disappear, is it from trauma from the past, like from early in life? Does that disappear?
No, it is imprinted in your person. But what disappears is the drama you make out of it. The liking to go back to the past, that's gone. The belief that it is you, that's gone. It concerns the person, of course, but I mean, it's not.
So, if it comes up in our dreams, we just let it come, let it go.
Yes, don't make anything out of that, because it is not controllable that it appears. It may one day not appear, but we cannot wish anything because it is not controllable. But what is essential is to know what it is. That's the past. Enough of that. It concerns only what makes me suffer, believing that I am somebody. No. But that's it, it's not a rejection that you have to remove it. You say, no, not touching it. I don't touch it. And it disappears on its own. Yeah, very important.
I think your presence brings up from my unconscious.
Yeah, most probably.
Your presence brings up my mother's absence.
Yeah, most probably. But you see, it is up, so it was stored somewhere. So
Pardon?
it was stored somewhere, no?
Yeah.
So it's very good that it shows up, it is allowed to show up since it was anyway there, somewhere, to leave you, to free you. Yes. And don't worry if it reappears so, it may take some time, don't worry for that. But have the same discrimination. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, it's related to that.
Okay.
I want to expose deep anxiety.
Anxiety.
Anxiety,
Yeah.
which I think has been normal for all these years.
Yes.
And which is big off now.
Yes, okay. It's due to the past. You see, the thing is that whatever comes in the so-called present, we think it's the present, but it's the past reappearing. Now you have two ways, or it confirms that you are such a person with such a past, or you decide to free yourself, and it will not be in transforming it in this way, it will be in knowing what happens with the past. And it has this shape because of the past. It has no meaning for what I am in reality. And I want to stick to that. I choose that. I have fire for that this life. Yes, very good. Sure, many things will be stirred up by satsang, you see. It will be both ways. Sometimes you are quietened down, and sometimes in the contrary, it will be maybe worse, because everything comes up. But it is, you have to hear that, huh? It appears to leave you, if you allow it to leave you. As I say, maybe not at once, but it will be so. Yes.
I followed the instruction of my master.
Okay.
Very, very good. No, really, I did everything. Yes.
Don't give up. Go on.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
You won't trust, you see?
Yes.
You won't trust.
Once I have been talking to a person, it's difficult to forget that person completely, like it was before I've been talking to him or her. And then it takes attention all the time.
Yeah, but you have to discriminate. What do you want then? What do you want? To keep it or to be freed from whatever obsesses you? What do you want?
Be free.
To be free. Then it's an obsession, kind of something which comes back again and again. It must mean that or you give some meaning to it, or you like it, or you are attached to it, or you have some desire towards it. You see?
And it's unconscious.
Oh. So, even whatever consideration which makes it reappear is not considered. You just have to see enough. But this enough has to come from a deep understanding that it will not help you to go into those movements, those movements of mind. It doesn't help you.
It's like, don't look to the left, then I want to look to the left all the time.
I think I described enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know, to know what things are, it looks small. It makes an enormous difference. enormous. Because you cannot help that things happen to this body-mind. You can't help. But where you have a freedom is to go for freedom. Go for your birthright to know who you really are. And that, how you say this, une exigence, that demands a tremendous, first of all, discrimination. You know why you go there. You have enough of experiencing somewhere else because you have seen enough. If it is not so, then go for it and see enough. So you need tremendous thirst, guts, fire for it. Yes. Yeah.
It's just something what related to you, but just express.
Yeah.
It's a habit to go back to the past.
Yeah, it's a habit.
Yes, and
Sure.
when I was a child.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You express.
When I was a child, I did it also,
Yes.
and it was calming because I did, and at night on the bed, I just before I went to sleep, it was working automatically.
Yeah.
And I just repeated what happened with
Yes.
me. And sometimes I was more attractive, sometimes
Yes.
less. Sometimes it was about love. And
Yes, of course.
and later I lost it, and I missed it because it was calming.
It was?
It was calming for
Calming.
me. And later I lost it, so I wanted it back.
Mm.
So
Because you didn't know there was another way.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. So here you are. If you are here, it means you want to hear another way. And the other way is surely not to give emphasis to go back to the past. You can't help, you see. You have been happy, it's gone. You have been hurt, it's gone. Or it is still inscribed in the person, okay? But I am not this body-mind. Even if it looks mad, it looks like an impossible sentence to take for the mind, it is said by the wise. So we may trust it. We may trust it. So now, be freed from this habit, and you want to replace it by something, probably. So replace it by negating what happens to you. I'm not this, I'm not that, till you arrive in yourself where this effort is not needed, and you keep quiet there. It's a good program. If you have more questions, you ask them.
Yeah. Maybe it's too much. I can tell.
What is too much? The negation?
What comes to my mind?
Yeah, it's too much, that's what I say. Sweep. Too much. Too overcrowded. Too overcrowded. One is not, cannot breathe in the end. Yes, yes. So, hear that. Yes, you're right. To carry a mind all the time is, you get fatigued, you get mad, you get overcrowded, you are not happy. It's not, it cannot be the way. Cannot be the way. Good? Very good. Honor that moment where you can say no or yes. Yes, honor that. And the intensity you were putting before on all that, you put it that way now.
So you say it is your birthright to realize yourself,
Yes,
but you also say the concept of being born.
yes, but as you think you are born, I say to the born one, it's your birthright to take this birth, this life which follows the birth, dedicated to freedom. You see, there will be no word if I was not addressing to someone. What to say, what to teach, what to give which direction. In that way the best teaching is silence, but to whom then? There is nobody there. But it's good to ask. It's good to be clear to what it is addressed to, what does it mean. Very good, very good. Because you see, very strangely, it looks like we need to take a birth to finally be attracted by having no birth, to realize the self. Paradox. Yes.
It's also just an expression. There is one. Yeah. I tell it because I have the intention of helping. I don't know.
Helping,
Yeah.
but please first help yourself.
Yes, I know. Just I
Yeah.
would like to tell you something.
Yeah.
Nisargadatta Maharaj. It's, a video with him. There is a video with him in the internet.
Yes.
and he said, watch the sense I am.
What?
Watch the sense I am till you become one.
What is what?
Watch,
Huh?
Watch the sense
Ah,
I am.
yeah, okay.
And yeah, maybe it doesn't matter.
Oh, no. Don't do like this.
Okay.
Or you ask and you go up to the end of your asking.
Yeah.
No, please. Otherwise, confusion is big.
Yeah.
No, just ask.
Okay.
Okay. So what's your sense of I am? He said.
Yeah.
Yes. And what is your question?
Maybe there's no question. I just try to do this. That it's
Yes.
when I.
Okay. Try to sense your I am instead of always your becoming. Yet it is still a sense. But yes, it is on the way to the source of I. So not bad. Sure. Sure. But you see, for that, anyway, you have to go on negating the becomings. Yeah, great. Great. Okay.
I've been told once that I'm extremely unconscious, more than average.
So if you read something of one of those, what to say, great ones, and you like, you can tell me. I will also enjoy. Don't keep it for you alone.
Ganga. I'm not free. Suggestion of mine easily seen as false. So keeping quiet. Nothing left. Keeping quiet. So from here, any talk about split second or any expectation is seen as mind. Is seen as noise.
Yeah,
so
noise.
discarded.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a knowing. The same. I don't know. That's my question. The knowing when.
The knowing.
The
okay.
knowing that when you come to meet a master in the beginning, you know that this is your master. You know it.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
light years
Yeah.
full of concepts, but you know
Yeah.
you know that this is your master.
Yeah.
And the same thing that you know that keeping quiet is not the full thing. You know that still.
But it's by keeping quiet that the full things will reveal.
Yeah.
So nothing to do. Here is the beautiful saying that Papaji loved so much, and I think it came from one of the Buddha Sutra. The truth, the self, exalts a holy person. Whom else is a holy person than the one who keeps quiet? Don't worry. Don't wait, don't make noise, keep quiet.
Ja. Đây. Này, càng ja. Die braucht Wind. Die braucht Wind. Gleich kannst du eine haben. Hier. Nicht noch eine. Ach, warte. Oh, verdammt. Da. Weil die Bäume, das hier ist hier so abgebrecht. Hier so von dem Baum. Weißt du? Där kan vi med känning bakom. Åh, det är en omgång. Och så har man så det okej? Dann, ja.
Who? Ah, yes. What's your name?
Ronnie. Ronnie. This is downloading of the mind ever stops. Like I feel like I have a computer inside of me, like,
True.
and what I in the relationship with him, like what I choose
Yes.
to download, to push.
Sure.
This is what the
Yes.
appearance, the reality.
Yes.
Is this ever finished, like, or it's continuing?
What is over is the concept, it's real. And that's possible when you realize yourself. Now the computer can still appear, work in the world. But the concept, it's real, goes, including the owner of the computer.
So no unplugging the.
You know, if you want an image of how possible it is when the concept of reality of this world of appearance is gone, how is it possible that it still appears? We have that every day in our life even. You see sometimes the light of a star which died, disappeared years back. Still we see the light. So like that, the life will appear like that. And yet, it's unreal. I thought the example would help, but it doesn't really. Okay. You have a better example, Uma? In science, you know quite a good, beautiful examples. If you have one, I will enjoy. You have time, but if it comes.
With the movie, maybe we can say that the movie was made on the past, and you can reactive when you think about that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only on the past.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it is clearer, but it's good. Not bad, but yeah. Anyway. Yes, yes. Yeah.
in this accumulation of experiences for the human. I feel like I need some experiences to feel alive. But as my journey continues, I feel the destination has already been reached.
Okay, fantastic.
Yet I continue to live.
Then what I'm doing? You read the stories of nothing ever happened of Papaji. It's full of happenings, but suddenly nothing happened because he realized what is the truth, what is reality, and yet you read the book, it's full of happenings. Like that. Oh, yeah.
It's not yet clear, my question. There's nowhere to go. It's very clear the last days. I feel very oriented in mind and body. You give me very good advice. Don't look. But it's like you are the only one to come now. Because really, I have no idea where to go.
But don't go anywhere. If you go anywhere, you go in your mind.
If I come to you, if I grab your feet in the image, is that a good direction? Can I do that?
If your feet are going into from where they appeared. Yes. Because you see, what is those feet? It's just not 10 fingers, huh? It means I bow down, so it means I don't go into my mind. Because to reach the feet, you have to bow down. I am not going into my mind. I have nowhere to go. Still, I feel this body is there. So I grab your feet. Who tells you have not to go anywhere? You have not even to think of anywhere or nowhere or somewhere. You put your mind down, means it went back to its source. You don't know. You don't even remember that question. It has no more value. That is really grabbing the feet. Huh? Where are you when you are no more preoccupied by this question, somewhere, nowhere? Where are you? That direction. The feet are that direction. Yes.
It seems that when I'm getting more into the stillness, my mind is mobilizing. So last night I felt I had a dream where an enormous snake wanted to eat me alive.
Ah, Shiva.
Yes.
I hope
so
he did.
What?
I hope he did.
No, I got afraid.
Okay, so he remains as a snake and you remain as you think you are. Okay.
I was trying to understand it, and then I was kind of sucked into it by trying to understand it.
The understanding it was the darshan of Shiva. Otherwise you will go into Freud.
Go into what?
Into Freud. Freud.
Yeah.
Big snake.
What I felt while we were talking about it here was that it's really a movie. It's not real.
A movie, okay.
And very strong feelings, but they are not real either.
Yeah, great.
So I can just be in nowhere and let this movie come and go.
Mm-hmm. Now you have to remove I can just be in the nowhere. Now that everything else is dismissed, you have to dismiss this one.
What one?
I'm nowhere.
Yes.
You dismiss, as you dismiss all the rest.
Yes.
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 Bas, and it's over. It's enough now, because everything else is in the movie or I am in the nowhere. Everything is not considered, not valued.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can go.
I have something what I like, something else. It is a book about 4 Noble Truths of Buddha.
No.
The book about the 4 Noble
Yeah.
Truths
Of Buddha.
Yeah.
What is the 4 Noble Truths? You remember? At least one you remember.
Yeah, suffering is, or I read it in Hungarian.
Yeah, but just tell Lucy. Suffering is?
This is the one.
Suffering is.
This, yeah. Suffering has disappearance. I can't translate it very well. Suffering has disappearance. The reason of suffering is the attraction is to be attracted of a desire, or to the desire. And the force is Buddha's answer. The force is another way, I think, than the matrix. Do you understand? But I wouldn't like to tell this. The book said you can do just one thing, not what you used to say, not react or accept things, just realize what is there at that moment. And
burn the book. Burn the book.
Yeah, I see myself now talking. I know I'm talking. Just it was in my mind. But, yeah. It's good. It's come out, no?
Don't you think I'm happy? It's not because I'm annoyed on that. I'm happy. Burn the book.
I don't have. Okay, I will burn.
In you.
But not in the
There is less danger if it is in you. Burn the book in you. Yeah, I must say, books, best books, helps you, may still help you. But once you are coming to satsang, especially in this period of time, I speak to you now, I think you have not to touch a book. You come, it has to be alive, you never know what you really understood from the book, and that's why then you can bring it. But don't go back to the book. You see, the book helped you to hear what it tries to say alive, because finally it is alive that we are more helped. Okay. And you can always go back there to appreciate more later, but give yourself a period of time of not feeding your mind.
Okay.
Yes. And feeding it with what you hear in satsang. Or on YouTube, the satsang of Ramana and Papaji. For a while. Yeah? And I named those two because we have the same language. You see, I have the language from them. So it's easier to deal with one language.
Just to add one more thing. I came here down here to just have a holiday, and there was some attraction. So we discovered that we were here. I didn't know anything, and it has been kind of a miracle to come here and also to be here with you. Thank you.
Oh, sweet.
The realization of yourself, is it always like a moment, a turning point, and after it is irreversible?
You tell me. Why don't you allow yourself to see it by yourself? You see, the time is only in the mind.
And the memory?
In the mind.
It's why.
And who you are is not in the mind. So, how to click suddenly from time to what is not time. It cannot be like a slow processes in time. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. You see, the journey is more or less long because we delay. one delays. And it's like this with everyone. There is no culpability on top of it to get, but I mean, if you need an explanation, you are always yourself. Now when you hear this and you don't catch whatever is in time, where are you? It doesn't take even more than a blink of an eye. Everybody is already this self. What I mean by self, what is real? This habit or this ignorance, but by now I don't think anyone is ignorant. This habit to put oneself in time is to nourish the person, just to know that is enough, once for all. Just to know that is enough. You have not to attain who you are it. But one has this habit to put always into time. The person. It's not the person who will go to enlightenment. It's when you leave the person in time, finally, and you don't place yourself in time, that is realization.
Yesterday, when I was quiet, I realized that...
In time, yes.
Yes. I realized that when I'm quiet, all appears what has to be appeared.
Why? I am sorry to say.
Yeah.
But now I have to say.
Yeah.
You see what I just said?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot hear better. Why do you come with this shitty thing of yesterday? At least, that's why I say you don't keep quiet. At least stay quiet with the truth you hear, which is yours.